Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the NFL and the 49ers this season, you know things are heating up in a way that nobody predicted. The 2025 season, much like 2024, has been riddled with injuries, setbacks, and surprising twists. But at the same time, it's opening doors to opportunities that were previously unthinkable. The 49ers, despite suffering significant injuries on offense, most notably to George Kittle, who's now on injured reserve with a hamstring issue, and Brock Purdy, who's expected to miss a few weeks due to turf toe, are still managing to keep their heads above water. They've started the season 2-0, which might seem like a small miracle given the circumstances, but for the dedicated fans and the team itself, it's a testament to their resilience and depth. Looking ahead, the upcoming Week 3 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals is shaping up to be a pivotal moment. Both teams are sitting at 2-0, and whoever wins that game will likely sit atop the NFC West after just 3 weeks. It's incredible to think about, especially considering the obstacles the 49ers have faced. In a division as competitive as the NFC West, every game is a test, and the early part of the season has been nothing short of a battle of attrition. But beyond just the wins and losses, what's really capturing everyone's attention is the rumor, the speculation, and the potential shakeup that could redefine the division. Yes, we're talking about the possibility of a trade that could send Kirk Cousins to the 49ers. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Kirk Cousins? Really? Isn't he a player who's been involved in trade rumors before? And the answer is yes. But this isn't just some idle speculation. There are credible reports, from sources like Bleacher Report's Christopher Knox, suggesting that the Atlanta Falcons, who currently sit at 1-1 after a strong primetime win over the Minnesota Vikings, might be open to trading Cousins. Why? Well, the Falcons are clearly trying to establish a new era with Michael Penix Jr., Drake London, and Bijan Robinson leading the charge. But behind the scenes, they still have that expensive backup, Cousins, who, despite not being a starter at the moment, remains one of the most productive quarterbacks in the league. The intriguing part is, Knox predicts that the Falcons might look to send Cousins to the 49ers in exchange for a couple of assets, specifically, a player like Bryce Huff and a conditional 5th-round pick. Now, this might sound like a straightforward deal, but there are a lot of moving parts here, especially considering Cousins' contract. You see, Kirk Cousins has a no-trade clause in his deal, which means he has some say in where he goes. That alone complicates negotiations because, for the right team, Cousins is still an attractive option. He's a veteran quarterback with a proven track record, especially since entering the league in 2012, having quietly been one of the most productive passers of his generation. But what makes this scenario particularly interesting for the 49ers? Well, for starters, Kyle Shanahan has a history of making the most out of veteran quarterbacks, and Cousins would be a familiar face. The two have a bit of a history, and Shanahan's offensive scheme could potentially maximize Cousins' strengths, accuracy, decision-making, and experience. Still, the question remains, is it worth it for San Francisco? Because trading for Cousins isn't just a simple upgrade, it's a significant financial commitment. Cousins' current contract includes a hefty $10 million guaranteed for next season, which adds to the overall team salary cap considerations. And that's where the debate heats up. The 49ers already have a pretty expensive quarterback in Brock Purdy, whose rookie deal is relatively team-friendly, and they've been building their roster around him. Bringing in Cousins, especially with that big contract, could complicate their cap space and their long-term planning. Plus, if Purdy is expected to be out only for a few weeks, the team might prefer to rely on their depth chart rather than make a bold move for a veteran quarterback who might only be a temporary solution. But let's not forget, this is football. Sometimes, decisions aren't just about the cap or the immediate needs. It's about the potential for a playoff run, the experience, the leadership, qualities Cousins can bring to the table. His career stats since 2012 are impressive. He's consistently thrown for high yardage and has a knack for avoiding turnovers. He's been a reliable presence in the league, and in a season where the 49ers are facing adversity, that kind of veteran leadership could be invaluable. Especially when you consider the possibility of Brock Purdy missing a few weeks and needing someone who can step in seamlessly. Now, I want to emphasize that this trade idea isn't just some fantasy. It's rooted in real reports and real speculation, and it's something fans should keep an eye on as it develops. But of course, there are hurdles. The asking price from the Falcons has reportedly been high since the offseason. A package involving a second-round pick and a young player might be necessary, and for the 49ers, that's a steep price to pay for a quarterback who, while talented, also comes with a significant financial commitment. And this leads to another important aspect. What does this mean for the 49ers' current quarterback situation? Brock Purdy, despite missing a few weeks, has shown that he can lead this team effectively. His chemistry with the receivers, his decision-making, and his leadership on the field have been crucial. But every team needs that backup plan, especially in a season with so many injuries. Bringing in Cousins could serve as that, a veteran stopgap who can keep the team afloat while Purdy recovers and gets back to full strength. The 49ers front office has always been strategic about roster moves. They've built a team that's not just talented but also versatile. If they do pull the trigger on a trade, it would be a move that signals their seriousness about contending, especially given how competitive the NFC has become. With teams like the Eagles, Cowboys, and even the Lions rising, every advantage counts. And a quarterback like Cousins, who has playoff experience and is known for his consistency, could tip the scales in their favor. But what about the long term? Is Cousins the answer for a franchise that's been so close to the Super Bowl in recent years? His style of play, his leadership, and his ability to perform under pressure fit well with Shanahan's system. Still, the financial side can't be ignored. The 49ers would need to consider their salary cap and whether adding Cousins makes sense financially, or if it's better to stick with Purdy and develop their young core. In the end, all of this comes down to timing and strategy. The NFL season is a chess game, and the 49ers are always looking for ways to stay ahead of the curve. Whether this Cousins trade happens or not, it's a reminder of how dynamic and unpredictable this league truly is. The 49ers have shown resilience, fighting through injuries and adversity to stay competitive. Now, with the possibility of bolstering their quarterback room via trade, the narrative shifts towards a potential mid-season move that could define their championship chances. Remember, guys, football is a game of inches, of decisions, of moments that can change everything in the blink of an eye. The 49ers have the talent, the coaching, and the desire to go all the way again. But sometimes, it's those strategic moves off the field, trades, signings, roster adjustments, that make the difference between a good season and a legendary one. And as we watch this story unfold, I'll be here to break down every detail, every rumor, every development. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think a Cousins trade makes sense for the team? Would you be willing to see that kind of investment based on the potential playoff impact? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters, not only to us but to the future of this team. I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and more news about your favorite team. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting the 49ers in this exciting season. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Niners!